Okay, before we get into this week's episode of AEW Rampage Ups and Downs, let us address the commentary situation, because there have been some people on the internet going they like it and some people saying they don't like it. Well, on this night, on this episode, I think these four guys smashed it out of the park, so I wanted to call them out and say, great work. Because Chris Jericho had a bunch of good lines, Mark Henry actually sounds like he means everything he's saying, Taz is just a joy, and Excalibur holds them all together. I tell you, if you want to carry on doing a four-man booth, it's all right by me, but never forget, I'm an idiot. I'm also Simon Miller, and yes, welcome to Ups and Downs, where we're going to give the good bits and up and the bad bits and down for AEW Rampage. And amazingly, this is the fourth one that All Elite Wrestling has done. Where the hell does it go? We were celebrating their debut like 8 seconds ago. One day I'm going to be dead. Don't worry about that. Let's up those downs. Well, there was no mucking around on Rampage, was there? Because our first match was Malakai Black versus Lee Johnson, where Malakai had told us, I'm going to walk to the ring and I'm going to try and kill him, and he basically did. I do have to say that I absolutely love Black's portrayal in AEW because he just feels so different to everybody else on their roster, and this entrance just gets better each and every single week. I felt all like hoobly boobly in my tum-tum this time, so I was like, oh man, he's kind of scary. He also was getting pissed off here because even though he was dominating the match, Lee Johnson would find ways to punch him in the stomach or get these kind of comebacks. And Malakai was like, look dude, I'm trying to murder you here. Wouldn't you just calm down? You're ruining my whole plan. It got to him so much that eventually Black went out of the ring and got a chair because of course he did. But do you think he used it? No, he did not. Instead, he gave it to Johnson and told him, well, if you want to stand a chance, you better hit me. And because he is a courageous babyface, even though he'd had his ass kicked, he tried to get to his feet and he tried to use this thing. Then he did look a little bit stupid because Malakai Black just black masked him right in the face. He went down like a ton of bricks. And yeah, Malakai had said he wanted to kill him, and he actually looked dead. So this was proper Star Wars stuff, like it was the Empire going, strike me down and you will become stronger than ever. And I love Star Wars stuff, it remains the greatest. We have started to effortlessly tie in Rampage to Dynamite and Dynamite to Rampage 2, so after this, given that they are buddies, out came Dustin Rhodes to try and get some sort of revenge. And the long and the short of this is that they are going to fight on AEW Dynamite, and you know Malakai Black is going to absolutely destroy him too, to the point Cody Rhodes is probably going to have to come back and make the save. But once again, Chris Jericho talked about that. He was like, well, where is Cody Rhodes? I haven't seen him. All of this just worked so wonderfully well. I assumed we were going to do something big with Miro and Eddie Kingston on this evening as well, and I was correct. We really did shoot it out of a cannon. Because this was just fire coming from people's mouths, starting with Miro, who made his way to the ring and said, look, Eddie Kingston, you accepted some kind of charity contract here in AEW. Now you've gone soft, and as far as I can tell, you ain't nothing more but Jon Moxley's sidekick. And even I was laughing at that. I was like, man, if you wanted to wind somebody up, this was the way to do it. Kingston was then out, and as always, he was just brilliant on the microphone because that's what he does, and he wasn't mucking around because these two tried to fight. I mean, the referees and the officials tried to break them up, but they weren't able to. But that damn Miro was playing possum, so he kind of gave Eddie Kingston a cheap shot. Kingston was having none of that though, because he is the Mad King, so he ensured that he left Miro laying with a DDT, and this honestly ticked every single box that you'd wanted it to tick. This to me is like a sleeper hit when it comes to All Out. I think it's going to be absolutely terrific. Up. Also, at one point, before he got in the ring, Eddie Kingston actually said, Redeemer, redeem these nuts. So we peaked. That's it. This is the greatest moment on planet Earth, and it's just going to be tumbling downhill from here. And then fair play to AEW, because it was Chris Statlander taking on Jamie Hayter and Rebel, and given that it was a handicap match, you could have had Chris Statlander lose, and nobody would have complained, and nobody would have minded, because again, it's 2-on-1, it's the numbers game. You can't beat up two people at once, but because we wanted to plant that seed in your mind that maybe, just maybe, Chris Statlander can beat Britt Baker on Sunday for the women's title, she won, and honestly, she won in very convincing fashion. Up. And the absolute highlight of this, which is something you need to go and see, is when she had Rebel in the electric chair position, so she was on her shoulders. Jamie Hayter went to do a crossbody, and Statlander caught her and then slammed them both at the same time. Now, I know she's an alien and she's not on this planet, but that is mad strength. And if you'd never seen her before, and this was the first time you were watching professional wrestling, I bet my ass you'd be like, well, that's a very cool maneuver. Now I like this person, ipso facto done. Statlander also did after this, after she had been beaten up as Hayter and Rebel utilized quick tags, but that just meant she came across like a bigger badass because she fought from underneath, and she finished this off by putting Rebel in this like crab submission thing, like it looks super uncomfortable, and of course you can have her beat Rebel. Rebel purposely is the weak link of the group, to the point even on Dynamite Britt Baker was like, oh, Rebel, you rubbish, you're never gonna win the Battle Royal. I thought all of this was so well done, and now I do believe, I still think Britt Baker will retain her championship, but I believe more than I did. That was the aim, that was the narrative, bada bing, bada boom. Britt was in like a bolt of lightning after this with her buddies to try and beat up Chris Statlander, but she does have a friend in Red Velvet. Once again, that tickled me too, because it was still 3-on-2, but as I've already said, Britt Baker looks at Rebel and is just like, why are you even here? I don't even get it. What a well done piece of business. We then saw a press conference earlier on going awry when John Moxley and Kojima just started to punch each other right in the face, and honestly, if you're not excited about that match, you need to change it now. When we had another of these sort of interview segments with Mark Henry before the main event, when he talks to all the competitors involved. I like that this has become a thing in AEW Rampage. I think we should keep it. It also meant we got to hear from Danny Garcia in 2.0, and as I will say every single time, I love these three together. I don't really know where they came from, but they are fitting in so well and swiftly becoming some of my favorite wrestlers. Danny said that he was intent on ensuring that Darby Allin versus CM Punk doesn't happen, so of course everyone booed him when Darby said, look, not only am I gonna whip your ass, but when I am done, I'm gonna find CM Punk and I'm gonna look at it right in the face. It sounded more aggressive than that. Otherwise, they would just be staring. CM Punk was out to do commentary on this match too, and he got a massive reaction. He still feels like a big deal. Some idiot offered him an alcoholic beverage, but that made me laugh as well. I was just having a barrel of fun. Danny Garcia too, man. In a recent interview, Tony Khan said that he saw something in Dan, and I totally agree. I think he has a huge upside, and in the early going here, when he was on the outside, Darby Allin went, right, I'm gonna run at you, and I'm just going to hurl my entire body in your direction, and I hope that I hit something, which he did, but it was the table, and it was the barricade. And he's doing this on Rampage, on TV, 2 days before a pay-per-view. Darby Allin is just the best. It didn't faze him because that's just what he does, and after a while he was working over Danny Garcia's arm, but just when he started to panic, Danny was like, well, okay, I know what I'm do. I'm a massive Nimrod, I'll get the steel steps and I'll use them to break free. And he did. He was then applying all of these holds, including a fish hook, which always looks like it sucks. Look, just like fun to you? No, it does not. And even when Darby Allin tried to escape and hit a move off the top rope, Garcia was like, nah, bruh, that's not happening. And he whammed him with a superplex. Garcia was then going rear naked choke crazy, which sounds absolutely dodgy, and I don't mean it to. And once again, I was just chuckling away, because do you want to know how Darby Allin got out of this? He started using some of CM Punk's old moves. CM Punk's on commentary was all like, oh, I know what he's doing. I like all this stuff because as I told you once and I'll tell you 1,000 times, I am a giant wrestling nerd. Darby then hit the accelerator as only he can, and he hit this code red for an awesome near fall. But instead he finished him off with his own version, the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. But it's hard to criticize this one because the way he does hold the legs and the way he does twist his body, ain't nobody getting out of that. I'm surprised it didn't break Danny Garcia's back, but the point is Darby Allin won, because of course he did. Imagine he lost 2 days before All Out. Oh my gosh, the internet would be dead. Naturally, 2.0 were enraged by this, so they just jumped Darby Allin, but that was stupid because they forgot that Daddy Sting was watching and that CM Punk was only meters away. But do you know who the person was that took them out? Once again, it was Darby Allin who did this crazy dive because AEW is just doing every single thing in their power to push him and push him and push him and push him. It's smart. CM Punk and Darby then did indeed go head-to-head to end the show. They were honestly this close. One of them could have gone and given the other person a kiss. And look, Dynamite's point was to build to AEW All Out. Rampage's point was to build to AEW All Out. And here I stand as a bald A-How, completely ready and willing to embrace AEW All Out. So they've done a terrific job. I do think it's going to be their biggest pay-per-view ever. We're all going to have a great time. And overall, this is getting it up. Which is the same for Rampage as well. There was nothing I didn't like on this show because 60 minutes of wrestling just flies by. It's effortless. Some things in my life aren't as good as this that are meant to be good, so it's getting it up. Now, please do leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's AEW Rampage. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture to make sure you check out all the wrestling news. Come say hello on social media. We're there waiting for you. And I have a ton of ups and downs, because sometimes you don't want to watch wrestling, so I watch it for you. Kinda, it's true. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. I do not think I'll see you again before All Out, so make sure you come back here on Monday when we will up those downs. I think we're in for a very big surprise. I cannot wait. See ya.